On this edition of Small Town Big Deal, it is the king of county fairs.
But the locals call it something to crow about.
The fair has always been a part of everybody's life around here.
Riding the Ferris wheel was always kind of the highlight of the fair to me, you know.
This fair has all the rides, displays, and fun attractions that you can imagine.
But it's known for its acres of animals who will show you the fastest, the strongest, and the best dressed.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
And you know, if you're like me, you might have grown up going to your local county fair. I mean, the Midway, riding the rides, the carny food, and then we got to show our animals. I mean, it's the highlight of the year.
I know, you can tell how excited Rodney must have been back then.
Still am.
Smile, girls.
Well, we have got a treat for you here at the Canfield County Fair, one of the largest county fairs in the whole United States, where they most certainly live up to their theme.
Yeah, something to crow about.
Canfield's iconic rooster is really strutting his stuff this year as he celebrates the fair's 175th anniversary.
In that time, this Ohio fair has grown and grown to over 350 acres of fun.
I love the fair. I'm passionate about it, and we just try to enhance it and make it better all the time.
Manager Bev Fisher has been working for the fair for 30 years.
A lot of people say they come here to reunite with family. You know, they remember the good things. I remember when my mom entered something in arts and crafts, I still have her ribbon. You know, it's that kind of stuff that keeps people wanting to come back and be involved.
Canfield, Ohio is just 75 miles southeast of Cleveland. During its 6-day run, the fair will host 350,000 guests, 45 times Canfield's normal population of just 7,000.
We've been coming here since we were little kids, so the fair has always been a part of everybody's life around here.
The Canfield Fair started way back in 1846 when local farmers met for one day to show off their crops and livestock. That commitment to agriculture is one thing that has never changed.
If it's planted on a farm, raised on a farm, or made on a farm, you'll find it here.
We raise show goats, and we can travel a lot of fairs, and this is by far the best one to stay.
Watching the young kids showing their animals and just watching them take care of them, it's good to see the young kids good in agriculture.
One of the things that I love about the Canfield Fair is the amount of animals they have here. I mean, they have more horses and ponies than I've seen at most state fairs. And I got the honor today, Glenn is going to teach me how to drive a hitch. And Jan, she's going to get a lesson too. Okay, how's the weather up there?
It's quite comfortable, thank you very much.
I always thought you had to let up on them
You
to
let
let
them
it.
up just a little bit.
Hey.
Just tighten in a little bit, about the same speed.
All right. Easy, boys. How long have you been training horses?
Oh, I've been at it probably 45 years.
So you know about everything there is to know about horses.
Well, not everything, but I know a little bit.
Rodney has a great teacher. Glenn's been a competitor for decades. But I have a good team as well. Sarah Campbell and Tim Yannick, along with his two huge Clydesdales, Ace and Lincoln.
Are you going to trust me to try to do this, guys?
We will.
Yep, walk.
There you go.
You got it.
If they're pulling you too hard, then you can take up a little bit more. If you feel like you're holding them back, then you loosen up.
So I can promise you this, Jan is in heaven right now.
Wow. This is a lot harder than it looks, you guys.
Something that is as hard as it looks, pony pulling.
Talk about horsepower. The object is to see which team can pull the most weight for a full pull of 14 feet.
So Charlie, what is it that you love about pony pulling?
The competition. I love training the horses. It's a lot of fun, a lot of hard work.
Charlie's animals are actually small by draft horse standards, under 56 inches tall at the withers, so they compete in the pony class.
And man, these ponies love to pull. They can hardly wait to get going, and when they do, they can drag over 7,000 pounds.
What makes a winning team?
Usually a pair of ponies that have been together for a while and pull together.
But if harnessing speed is more appealing to you than brute strength, Canfield Fair has that covered too.
In Ohio County Fairs, we have more harness racing than any other place in the world, and it is a great, exciting time for everybody.
Canfield is blessed to have a fantastic harness racing track right on the fairgrounds.
And Jan and I get to take turns in the best seat in the house, the starter's truck.
These horses excel as trotters. Cantering or galloping is strictly against the rules.
Let me tell you, one of the horses had his nose against the gate. And then the sound of their hooves. Yeah, you don't want to go, do you? Because I want to go again.
I'd like to go.
All right, I'll let you go.
Now, the good horses, we run 40.
Wow.
What I want you to do, watch out this window, watch your feet.
Okay.
They're flying through there. You'll see daylight under all 4 feet.
Wow.
And you can't see that from the grandstand.
That's cool.
When we come right back, totally different breeds of more four-legged fun.
And another one of the fair's most popular events that always proves to be a smashing success.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal, and we're still having fun at the 175th Canfield, Ohio County Fair.
And you never know what's around the corner.
So with me today I have Katniss. He is my private investigator rooster, and we just won our senior costume class.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like Sherlock Holmes, right?
He's just investigating the very rich history of our fair's history.
Excellent. So I'm going to take his hat off because I decided I wanted to call him Sherlock Combs.
Dressing up all forms of fowl in costumes may seem a bit frivolous, but it's a fun way for fair organizers to keep young people interested in livestock and the fair.
And if you think rooster detectives are something to crow about, well, we think this next contest will prove to be a very moving experience.
America runs on beef, not Tonkin.
It's the always popular cow costume contest, and Jan and I are honored to be guest judges.
Moving packages.
And joining us are actual judges from various courts in the surrounding county area.
Oh, this is so hard.
I know.
There's the Looney Tunes cow, the used cow salesman complete with Wobbly Man, the Olympic cow, and one of my favorites, the pony for sale.
Yeah, I tell you, that bucking bronc did a real number on his family.
Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed.
But it was a parody of that old nursery rhyme that became the judge's favorite.
Winning first place in the dairy promotion category was 4 Little Monkeys by the Bagwell family and their cow, Cinderella.
She came up with the idea and she said, my only job is to make a bed to go on the cow. So that's what I did.
And let me get this straight too. So you're an engineer and you're a doctor.
Yes.
And you have a beef and dairy operation also, and all these kids.
Yep.
When do you sleep?
Yeah.
We don't.
We're learning that at the county fair, just about any competition can be found. Check out these pint-sized athletes.
There's no way to predict what might happen when these beasts take to the track. We each choose a favorite to win.
I've got 4, Jan's got 3. We're gonna see who picks the best one.
Number 3 is kind of little, but it's eager.
I think number 4 just good-looking dogs.
Oh, look, who wants a toy? Number 4 is focused. Oh, it wants that toy so bad.
Go!
Oh no! 4 didn't leave. 3-1.
3-1. 4 never got out of the starting pit. I win! That was hysterical. I picked the wiener.
She picked 3. I picked 4 because it looked like he was so eager.
I know. So what happened?
He loves his owner too much.
If he ever gets going the right direction, he's so gonna win. Yes.
Are you ready?
A must-see at Canfield's Fair is Demolition Derby Night.
The grandstand here holds more than 6,200 people, one of the largest permanent venues we've seen at a county fair.
There's always something to bring out the crowd, especially when the sun goes down. How about a bit of real-life bumper cars?
It's fun to watch people ram into each other.
Oh, that's what it's about, having fun.
I want to stay here for the rest of my life.
Amateur drivers from around the area spend all year prepping these beautiful machines.
Just so they can go out and smash them to pieces. Just like with the wiener dogs, it's more fun if you pick a favorite.
So we decided to combine our earlier numbers 4 and 3 and go with local boy Alex Rusu.
I've grown up in Canfield my entire life, and I always used to come to the Derby as a kid, and I never knew I'd be in it one day, but here I am. It's fun to smash some cars, and I love the city of Canfield. Can't beat it. Canfield Fair.
Alex is doing great at first.
But then this happens.
Got beat up a little bit. They got my front end pretty good. My CV axle came out, so now I got no drive power.
Nothing to do now but retire old number 43 to the police cruiser graveyard and find another set of wheels for next year's exciting Wreck and Ruin event.
When we come back, we go behind the oven to reveal the secrets of Canfield's most famous fair food.
This is a pound of butter.
Oh, you're talking my language now.
Welcome back to the 175th Canfield Fair in Ohio.
It's one of America's largest county fairs, and there's endless fun to be found.
So cool.
Like the giant Ferris wheel that gives you a bird's eye view of everything. And Rodney just loves heights.
You getting nervous?
We're getting pretty high now.
So can we just look at Rodney's knuckles? I think they're white. Are they white? I'm like, no hands, Mom. Woo!
Kidding aside, Rodney really does love tractor pulls, and there's a professional one here every year.
I want one of those. For Jan, getting hands-on lessons from a professional sheep shearer is a highlight.
How's that?
Yep, you're doing all right?
I just knew mine would end up with a really bad hair day.
The variety of what you'll find at this fair is amazing. Like music and dancing from all corners of the earth.
I dance Jangay. It's like a gold fingers.
Giving fairgoers a taste of other cultures that exist right here in Ohio.
When I tell them like Jordan, they said, oh, we hear about Jordan in the Bible, Jordan River. That's it. Then I tell them where is Jordan and where is located and everything about Jordan, and I let them try the Jordanian coffee, the Jordanian sweet.
And speaking of flavor, there's plenty of that at the fair, from sweet to savory to just about anything you can think of deep fried.
But the most famous food at Canfield doesn't come fried. It comes extra gooey.
We went straight for the cinnamon rolls because they are so good.
We're willing to stand in line for as long as we have to get a Molnar cinnamon roll. They're delicious.
These cinnamon rolls are a Canfield Fair classic. The Molnar family's been selling them for 38 years from their famous food stands that dot the Midway.
About how many cinnamon rolls will you sell at the fair?
About 20,000.
Wow.
Wow! For all 4 stands, yeah.
That's a lot of dough.
Yeah, 6 days.
Get it, everybody? Get it?
A lot of dough, right?
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
So we're gonna use this whole thing?
Yep.
As we would soon find out, it's not the dough, but what gets wrapped in it that's the real secret. Starting with cinnamon.
I would have never guessed this is how you do this. But
Yeah. No, traditional cinnamon rolls recipes say put the butter or margarine on there first.
Okay.
And we don't do it. We do it opposite. And I think that's why our rolls are so much popular, because we get a really good gooey base.
How much sugar?
About a shovel and a half.
After I get all that sugar sprinkled on, well, it's time for the butter.
This is a pound of butter?
That's what I'm talking about.
Talking my language now. Yeah, butter, man. It's one of the major food groups, right? Where's the butter?
Just about got it all there.
See, I can just eat this raw.
We've had people come up and ask for raw rolls. They've got this dough infatuation and
hey, you know?
4 sticks of butter, that much sugar, a whole bunch of cinnamon, that much dough. I mean, that's gotta be good. Sound like that?
don't be gentle. It's not gonna bite you bad. Get it a little bit tighter.
Oh, tighter?
Yeah, it'll loosen up.
I wish everybody could smell this.
Now I'm seeing the cinnamon roll. Now
There
it's
you
gonna
go. Tuck in your end. Push that dough in.
be, get it tucked in good.
Oh.
So it looks kind of like a belly button.
I'm glad that's the part of the body you chose to compare it to.
Once it's rolled up and stretched out a bit, Faith cuts each batch into 16 rolls.
Ta-da!
Now they'll rise for about an hour and get baked, but even then, they're still not done.
So we're gonna let it set for about 5 minutes and let that caramelize and become
Gootastic.
Gootastic. A new word.
As if that's not gooey enough, add a batch of sweet icing and these rolls are confection perfection.
This is what they serve in heaven.
Well, after all I've seen and done and eaten, I can leave Canfield Fair pretty satisfied.
So I just checked that off my bucket list, and I didn't even know it was on there.
But first, we need to come full circle, back to those farm routes we talked about for one last competition.
That was her mama?
Yeah.
To a novice, this may not appear significant, but this is what dairy farmers come to see. The very best of each breed vying for Supreme Grand Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hershey's Catnip Team Meadow.
Their names may sound funny, but this is serious business. These showstoppers don't come cheap, and if they win, their value and the value of their offspring go even higher.
How does it feel to be holding on to the grand champion?
Words can't describe it. It's like winning the Super Bowl, you know?
Well, I have to admit, we picked which one we thought would win, and I picked yours because I thought it showed more of the characteristics of the brown Swiss breed.
Okay.
He knows nothing about the brown Swiss.
He fooled me, so.
He just thought she had pretty eyes.
Oh,
I picked her.
How stressful is it when you're in there and it's like the top of the top of the top of the award?
It's pretty nerve-wracking, you know, because you don't want to do something to screw it up, you know, and make her not look her best and, you know, take the chance away from her.
One thing is so obvious, how much these cows are loved. Bless you.
So I may not be the best at picking the Supreme Grand Champion cow, but if I had to pick a Grand Champion fair, the Canfield Fair would get the blue ribbon.
It's easy to see why this fair has been around for 175 years and counting. We'll be right back.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal. And Jan, if you might indulge me just for a minute. I mean, we do a lot of shows that I love, but I mean, this one's been really special.
Really, none of us could tell. Not at all. Yeah, I mean, you were like a kid in a candy store. But you know, another thing we love about the county fair and why we wanted to highlight it is that it brings everybody together, it brings the community together. City, country, old, young, you name it.
Yeah, it really unifies us, and then it's just a lot of fun.
That's right, with a lot of fun fair food.
And no calories in those.
No, they don't count here, right?
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America. Now some more sugar?
Oh yeah, there's not enough sugar there yet.
Oh, this is gonna be one of those low-cal ones.
We bake all the calories out.
Mares, you get good ones, but they're definitely harder to match.
They're moody, yeah.
And if they're having a day, you're not getting through it.
One comment.